Hey, welcome to Something Artsy this month. It's the December show, and I'm Brenda Nielsen, and I'm your host. Something Artsy is brought to you by State Street Theater in conjunction with the great work that New Cat does for us. They film every segment for us. I also want to thank you for supporting the arts in our community and through the financial support from Prairie Lakes Council. Without their generous support, we just wouldn't be able to do this. Today I'd like to welcome my first guests. And we've been visiting for a while, so we got a whole lot of information, but I won't bring that all up. This is Steve Miller.
Stan,
I'm sorry, Stan Miller.
But he goes by anything.
I was thinking Steve Miller in the band, Stan Miller.
he's my uncle.
Oh, okay, great. And this is Jim Bartles. They're from the Concord Singers. I want to welcome you to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
I hear there's a new Christmas album out. And our own Nate Spurl, who does a lot of the sound for us at the theater, helped produce the album. Tell us a little bit about where it can be purchased, what's the cost, what formats do you have it in vinyl, and what type of songs are you singing?
Let's hold it up a little bit here. Can you zoom in on that, maybe? The album is called Christmas with the Concord Singers. There's 14 cuts on the album, 11 of them in German, 2 in English, 1 actually in Latin. It was recorded in May and just released in October. You can purchase it. KNUJ has some.
We've got him on our CD sales. Dolmeyer's and New Ulm Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, I don't want to say the price because we sell them to the businesses and they charge whatever they want. But you can get it very reasonable, I'll put it that way. And you can find it on our website, concordsingers.com, along with many other items for sale. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a great seller for us, and I think it sounds pretty good.
We introduced it in October, I think the second weekend of Oktoberfest. And then I know we were up at Rutgers after that. We ordered 3 cases. We're already out of 1 case.
Good.
Up at Rutgers, it went like hotcakes.
Good, great. That's good to know. And then they can all know what we do here in New Ulm. It's great. Stan, a little bit more about you. When did you start with Concord Singers, and what do you like best about that group?
Oh, I started, it's 16 years ago, actually. And what I like about the Concord Singers is many things. I've always had a love of singing. I grew up singing in church choirs pretty much my whole life, and played in band, played trumpet in band, so I do have a little musical background. And performed at Sitnamai in Hanska. Some of your viewers probably went to some of those shows. And did some community theater, musicals mostly, and always had a love of being on stage. It's the ham in me. To put that uniform on, you got to relate, Jim.
Yep.
You got to be a bit of a ham.
Jawohl.
So what I love about the Concords is, of course, performing and singing. But when I joined 16 years ago, I was told that it was a brotherhood you're joining, and it's very true. Most, if not all, of my best friends are Concord Singers. So it's just a wonderful organization to be with, and tell you what, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It's a good advertisement for the group, for sure. So it sounds like maybe, since it's such a cool organization to be part of, how can people get involved with that? How can other men who sing want to get involved with that?
Go ahead, Joe.
It's pretty simple. Get a hold of us,
Okay.
number one. And if you have an interest, the process is we have you come in, sit in for 3 practices, and then after that there's a voice test, and we vote on someone getting in or not getting in.
Okay.
And it's that simple. So if you have an interest, you want to get a hold of us, and you can do that through our website, concordsingers.com, or any of our members. Dick Seaboth is our business manager, and I think you got a phone number for Dick on there.
Oh, I do know that phone number, yes.
Okay.
507-354-7112.
And he's also the person you contact if you're interested in having a group for a performance.
You know, Brenda, there's been a great resurgence members coming into the group. I'd say, in the last 3 years, we've had, I think 10 new members in the last 3 years. So we joke that the average age of the group has gone down about 10 years.
And that happens with any group. There is, a few years ago, I was looking at one of your performances and I thought, these guys, they're dwindling a little bit. I hope it doesn't fold, because it's such an important part of our culture here in our communities.
Sure.
So that's good to hear. That's great.
We're up to 31 members now.
Yep. And
Wow.
it's as he mentioned, in 2021, there were 3 of us that came in new that year, and it just kept going. And I'm the old man of the young guys. So we've got a lot of good youth that has come in. People in there, I think we've got now in the upper 30s and 40s,
Yep.
and then all the way up to the legendary singers, let's call it that way.
I understand those people. I understand that age group completely. As Stan and I were talking, I heard a little bit that there may be a special event that the Concord Singers is going to be involved in this summer. You want to tell
Well,
me?
we do Bavarian Blast
Yeah.
every year, and we do some county fairs, and we got a special trip coming up actually too.
That's the one.
We're going back to Germany on a tour. The 17th of June we're leaving and returning the 30th. So we're going to visit Switzerland, of course Germany, and Austria, all 3 countries. So we've got 1 spot available for this trip. If anyone wants to come, please call that number that Brenda just gave you, and we could fill that spot. Very reasonably priced.
Yeah, it's going to be a total of 50 people going, and there's one
Yeah.
opening right now, so it's gone well. We're taking the Lederhosen along. We have, I'm told, 3 performances over in Germany, and then some fun time being together and touring and doing some fellowship around the country.
Sounds like there'll be some good fellowship.
Oh, yeah.
And I have some of the Lederhosen, some of the older ones. I have some in the theater, in the costume shop, just in case you need a few. I can lend them to you.
Okay?
All right? Well, it sounds like it's going very well. Jim, let me hear why you really wanted to be in Concord Singers, and how long have you been hanging around?
I'll do that. Before I forget to, the album we also have on flash drive.
Oh, good.
So for some people in their vehicles and or perhaps put into their computers, it's another option.
All right.
Okay, so I was part of that class of 2021.
Okay.
And actually, I've been listening to the Concord Singers ever since I started working in New Ulm in the mid-'70s. My family came along, my wife and 3 children. We were always at Oktoberfest. We were always at Heritage Fest. And my children loved listening to the Concord Singers as well. Well, in particular, my 2 daughters, Abby and Jill, were on a mission for Dad to join the Concord Singers. And this started 23 years ago. And and then of course some of the guys, they were aware of that, and then they started asking, and I said, I'm really tied up with what I do at the radio station. I used to be the general manager and had other responsibilities in the company as well outside of New Ulm. I said, when that opens up, then it would work. So I stepped down at the end of 2020. I had probably 3 Concord Singers call me on the first day I was not in my GM position. And I said, yes, when it works, it's good. Well, they were still on basically sabbatical because of COVID.
Sure.
And then Dick Seaboth called me. He said, Jim, I know you want to join. We're going to start practicing now again. And so I came in after a softball broadcast was my first one in 2021. And there were 2 other gentlemen, Ronnie Forrest and Steve Shostrom, that joined that year also as first-timers. So we had 3 of us that year. I enjoy the German shtick that New Ulm is. My parents spoke German, sang a little German around home. I liked what the Concord Singers did and that festive German music, the way they can get into a crowd. And yeah, there's a little bit of ham in all of us.
Oh, sure.
And so, while I don't claim to be the greatest singer, I do a lot of my singing in the shower. and that's where I really sound good.
Sure.
But other than that, I enjoy being a part of the bass section and of the Concord Singers in general. That's kind of my story as to how it started and why I'm part of the group.
Sounds wonderful.
Don't let him sell himself short here. He's a fine bass voice.
See, you know, you got to have those bass. You got to have that bottom to just get everything, bring everything else up.
Thank
so
you.
You do. Well, it sounds like it's a really fun group to be part of. And I understand that December is a really busy month for this group. You want to let me know a little bit about what's going on, where you're going to be, and where we can maybe listen for you.
Jim, you can rattle that
Yeah,
off.
let me, and a lot of these are performances that we do at the senior citizen locations in town, assisted living, etc. It's part of what we feel we owe back to the community, because the community's been good to us and the city's been good to us. But on December 3rd, so again, some of these will be before this recording goes on, something artsy, but December 3rd at 6 o'clock we're at Woodstone Senior Living, and then at 7 o'clock we're at Orchard Hills. On the 4th of December, Divine Providence in Sleepy Eye, and that's at 6, and at 7 o'clock we're at Sleepy Eye Care Center. So a couple of performances there. We also go out of town on December 7th, Gilmore Manor in Morgan, and that will be a fun one. On Monday, December 9th, always a fun one for us. They take good care of us there, Stan. We're going to be at Oak Hills at 6:30. We've got a couple of our retired members who are residents out there. At 7:30, we just move over a little bit, a couple blocks away, go to Real Life Cooperative. And then on Tuesday, December 10th, we're at the Ridgeway at 6 o'clock at Ridgeway on German, 7 o'clock Ridgeway at 23rd. So we're hitting that New Ulm really hard. And then we get into a real fun thing on December 12th. It's Carol for a Cause, 6:30 at Shell's Beer Hall at the brewery. And we're singing German for a while, take a break, and then it's a sing-along. And Stan, maybe you want to mention a little bit what that's like, and it's a great fundraiser too.
I have to admit, first year we did, I thought, this is not going to go. But we got there and the place was packed. And everyone joined in with the carols. It was so much fun. Last year it was packed again. Everyone joined in singing. They passed songbooks around to everyone. So it's just a lot of fun, let me tell you. And it raises a lot of money for great causes.
Great. So what's the cost? How is the cost?
There's no admission fee.
Yeah.
You come, and we hope people are of the giving nature. And I need to mention that the Shells family, they donate a lot to this, the Martys and the brewery itself. So they donate a lot. I know I heard what it is. It's got a military theme, the money that's being raised.
Sure.
It's a military theme for either people in the military or now out of the military. And of course, the Marty family has a lot of deep roots in that with their family. So that's what it's going to be. And yeah, I think this will be maybe our 4th year doing it, 3rd for sure. And it's a hoot. And our German songs are fun. You know, and we're singing songs like Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht that people are familiar with. And,
Sure.
and we sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in German and English. And all those things. But they're fun ones for the crowd. And then we all just sing together and that at 7:30, the big sing-along. And after that, we might even have a beverage out there.
So we'll be selling our CD that night, and I believe it's 20% of our proceeds are going to be donated back.
Okay,
To that
great,
charity cause.
great.
Yeah.
December 12th, it sounds like a good time.
Yeah, come early. I mean, it's
Yeah.
open to the public, but come early because it does fill up and a great time, and it'll be everything full and some standing room, but it'll be worth it.
All right, sounds good. December 12th, 6:30 is the Carol for Cause, and at 7:30 is the party, and it's all at Shell's Beer Hall, correct?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. Well, anything else you guys have to tell me?
Couple of things. Again, this started with COVID. The Shells, or the Concord Singers, started having a Christmas show on KNUJ radio. And to help get the word out about what we're doing and just a way for us to say Merry Christmas to everyone. This year, of course, with the new CD, which we keep plugging, okay? A lot of those songs we talked about on the show on the 4th, that's Saturday the 14th, correct?
Yes.
And Stan will be on there, Justin Yanni, Wayne Shopper, and the host of the program will be KNUJ's Brian Filzen. Show runs a little over an hour, and there'll be some of our regular songs, but a lot of the Christmas songs will be on there. So that's a special one. Tune in, and again, KNUJ, it's on the air, but also worldwide on knuj.net, the live stream, so you can do that. Also, we have a regular program every Sunday on KNUJ at 3:45. 15-minute show all year long. And on there you'll hear our regular show tunes. You'll hear a little blurb from one of our Concord singers that rotates, so a little bit of the same things you were asking us. You know, why did you join? What's your favorite song? Stuff like that. And so that show is going to get expanded on December 8th and 15th into a half-hour show featuring the new holiday CD and flash drive album. So we have that. And no, we don't have it on vinyl. I know you brought that up. Maybe someday we actually have on vinyl what the very original recording that the Concord Singers do. We've got probably that many yet if people are interested. But we do have some vinyl from that very early recording.
The White Album.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. So that's a little bit about us on a regular basis. Also, the 8th and the 15th at 3:30, we will start on KNUJ in the afternoon. And on December 14th at 4 o'clock, it'll be over a 1-hour show. Depends on Brian wants to cut us off. Cut you guys off.
We'll see.
Yeah.
He runs a little long sometimes. We tend to have a lot of fun though.
And, you know, we're the ambassadors of goodwill, ambassadors of New Ulm. And when we go out, you know, it's promoting this community. And that's what we do. That's what our singing is. There's an Ein Prosit along the way, but, you know, we're singing the New Ulm song.
We promote shells.
Yes. And the Neu Ulm, das ist eine schöne Stadt, and all those things that goes with it. So it's a fun thing. That's what we do, and that's what we enjoy.
Thank you so much. We've done a great service, I think, to the community, and it sounds like the Concord Singers are going to be around, and it's up to you to find a place where you can hear them. They're a great group, and they are so much beloved in this community, and thank you so much for being there.
Follow us on Facebook, follow us on our website, so
Great.
both of those as well.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
Well, again, thank you so much. It seems like this is a gift that might be a good giving gift if someone would like one of these. Now hold that up again here. That might be a gift for somebody. You never know. Well, sounds like we're ready to go. You just stay in your seats, and we'll be back with something artsy in just a minute. Hi, this is Brenda Nielsen, and we're back with something artsy. I have my next guest is Sarah Warnka.
Yes.
I did it right, great. Sarah, it sounds like there's, New Ulm is such a fun city in this, well, anytime, but for sure, particularly in Christmas. It's been called the Christmas town. So you let me know what's going on in general for Christmas.
In
December.
Right.
In December.
Yeah. So certainly we have, we're known as the Christmas City, right?
Yeah.
And so, we've got live Christmas trees that line the streets downtown. We have wreaths made with real garland that are hand wrapped with lights and adorned with bows, and those hang from the streets downtown. Some of the other trees are lit up downtown, and it's a really magical place to be.
Right.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I was driving down Minnesota the other night, and the lights were already up, and it is. It's just magical. It's just a magical, fun place. So you just need something to do when it gets dark, and it does get dark around here at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Just take a stroll down Minnesota. It's wonderful.
For
there,
sure.
For
and
sure.
the trees downtown, we do have an opportunity for public if you want to help donate and fund those trees. The chamber coordinates, all of that, but we really are looking for funds to offset the cost. And so, if anyone wants to, it's $50 to sponsor a tree, and you can do it in memory of someone too. And then we'll publish that in the newspaper and on our website and whatnot.
Good.
But it's a great thing for sure.
For sure. And that was my next question
Yeah.
about how to donate.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Oh, I'm
Wonderful.
sorry. I'm jumping the script.
No, that's really great. Well, it sounds like it's a really great way for people to become involved in the magic of of our city and our Christmas.
And help ensure that it'll continue.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, I hear there's something about a festival facade storefront decorating contest.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, you know, so many of our businesses really go above and beyond at Christmas and all throughout the year, but with the holiday spirit, right? And it just adds to the ambiance of downtown and all throughout the town when our businesses also go the extra mile with their Christmas decorations. And so last year, the Downtown Action Team started this contest, and it's open to every business, not just downtown, but any business that wants to decorate their storefront. And so it's visible from the outside. They can sign up. We've got already a bunch of businesses that have signed up. And then voting starts November 30th, so it'll be, but you know, when this is airing, vote now, so you can go to newulm.com to get that link to vote. You vote for your favorite business, which is also really fun too, because then you can just drive around, you know, get a hot chocolate and drive around, check out all the storefronts on the list, and then vote for your favorites. And then the top 3 will win chamber dollars.
Awesome.
Who doesn't want that?
No, I mean, truly. Well, I'm really glad to hear that there's more stuff that the businesses are able to do to showcase the wonderful buildings that they are housed in and
Right.
the neat things that there are. It's not that Minnesota Street is not that many blocks. It's a great place to take a little walk now and with your hot chocolate. Good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Good
for
idea, for sure. You know, I also heard through my friends at the theater that there's a new class, something about AI. I think it's
Yeah.
artificial intelligence.
Yes.
You know, I'm a little old. I don't really get it, but I really wish I kind of did. What's that
Yes.
all about?
Well, this is a great opportunity to learn more about artificial intelligence. We're having a Hot Topics luncheon. It's on December 6th. It's from 11:30 to 1. It's an hour and a half long. It includes lunch. So it's going to be at the New Ulm Conference Center at the Best Western in Green Mill. So there'll be a lunch included with pizza and salad. And you can learn about artificial intelligence and how small businesses and organizations can use it to help their workflow, help improve what they're doing. Honestly, we use it at the chamber quite a bit. I mean, you know, probably not as much as we could or should. So I'm excited too to learn some tips.
Yeah. Wow.
One of our chamber members, Vivid Image out of Hutchinson, is who's putting on the class, and he's done that in a few other communities as well, and it's gone over really well.
Awesome. Sounds great. I know that the volunteers and some of the staff from this theater are
Yeah.
already talking about it
Yeah.
and kind of excited. And I can see lots of uses for that.
Lots of uses.
within
I mean, you can
that
even,
area.
like for an organization, for example, you can put your financials, just upload them right in there, and it'll highlight things that maybe you don't notice.
Sure.
Like, hey, this kind of stood out to us, or we're noticing, you know, this, or yeah, it's just lots of opportunities.
Okay, wonderful. I heard about another class
Yeah.
that you might be having. It's HYPE. Hype? Okay.
Yes.
You know, I bet it's an acronym for something.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So HYPE stands for Helping Young Professionals Evolve. So it's our young professional group. It's for any professionals between 21 and 40. And it's an opportunity for them to network and to get professional development and to really, you know, get those skills that they need to be successful to work in New Ulm or any community. The purpose, you know, is to offer professional development, but also to get these young professionals connected in our community with each other and with the town, and so that hopefully they will stay. Because you know, sometimes New Ulm is seen as a stepping stone, but if they get connected, people are more likely to stay. So they have an event coming up on December 10th. It's a happy hour. So that one's just a casual networking. Appetizers would be provided, as well as 1 drink ticket per person. It's free, no cost to register. We just need to know in advance that you want to be there. But also, if anyone's interested in learning more about the organization, just reach out to the chamber. They're planning events every other month, so their next event will be in February, and that one will be more professional development. And then every other time, they'll do a social and professional development. Actually, their event for February is going to be a community engagement fair or event. So anyone who's looking for volunteers, like State Street Theater,
Yeah.
or anyone who's got opportunities, we want to really bring them together because there's so many young professionals that don't know how to get involved or what organizations might need help.
Sure.
So that's coming in February too. So great organization.
Excellent information there. HYPE. Sounds like it. And you know, sounds a lot less scary than, or dull. You know, it's not just a networking.
Right.
It is
Yes.
really something where you're going to learn something, meet new people,
Right.
and yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like a great way to get involved. Well, I understand that some people's shopping might be at least started. Some might be done, but I highly doubt very many. And you know, we hear about this all the time. Shop New Ulm, or shop your community first. What's going on as far as what are we doing here in New Ulm to help people with that?
Yeah, well, there's a ton of shopping events and shopping promotions. Like during the month of November, we had the holiday Shop Local Passport, and then there was Small Business Saturday and Shopping Opener. During the month of December, there is one particular event that's super fun. It's called Shop New Ulm at Night, and it's taking place on Thursday, December 12th from 4 to 8. And it's free, you know, just go out. We've got coupon sheets at the chamber. Stop into the chamber to get one. They're also going to be inserted in the journal, so you can, if you get the journal, you'll get it that way. And it's just got a sheet that has all the businesses that are participating and what they're doing. So, you know, if they're doing half off, 20%, some are doing 20% store-wide, you know, or free gift with purchase, or just any kind of discount, just to really, you know, help those people with their last-minute shopping. And also there's a sip and shop element of it too. So every participating business will have refreshments and snacks for people for free. And there's about 6 or 7 that will have free wine or some sort of alcoholic beverage as well. So what a nice evening. Grab some girlfriends and get out.
Just a festive time. And like I said, just a great time to bring a group of your friends together and have a little social time.
Right.
That sounds wonderful.
It really does.
You know, we kind of were talking a little bit about something that's maybe a breaking news
Breaking
thing.
news,
Breaking news.
Well, by the time this airs, it won't be breaking
It
news.
won't be then, but you might, you know, you want to hear about it anyway because
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yes, so we are installing a 40-foot upside-down Christmas tree hanging from a crane, lit up by a Herman monument. So by the time this airs, it will be up there. So if you've seen the tree and you're like, how does that happen? What's the history? What's the deal? So there's a property owner in New Ulm who is building a house on a property that has 2 huge, beautiful Christmas trees. And so they're going to be cut down in the spring so he can build his house. And so he offered us the trees. And so, you know, the chamber, we were kind of like, where would we put a tree? How do you secure it? You know, how do you make a 40-foot tree stand up and where? And so then it was suggested that it's a German tradition to hang a Christmas tree upside down. It dates back to the 8th century, St. Boniface in Germany. There's some pagan ritual things that he was trying to teach them about the Holy Trinity. And also then it stayed as tradition also because in Germany, you know, smaller homes, if you didn't have enough room, hang it from the tree, you really have some more space. So that's a really great tie-in too with Herman up there, and the Herman Monument is going to have lights around it also, which is amazing. And so just kind of tying it in with that German history and Herman, and we're super excited. Huge shout out to Schaefer Crane, who's leaving their crane there for an entire month for free, and Kraus Tree Service, who's cutting down the tree for free. So we're just thrilled that this can come together.
Sounds like just a really cool
Yeah,
idea.
for
Just,
sure.
You know, I can hardly wait to go driving up Center Street on my way home and to see this. You know, I saw the lights around Herman and I thought, well, that's new. I wonder what else is going on. Better take a look. It's going to be pretty neat. Well, I think this is just great. Do you have anything else for me before you leave, or?
You know, there's just so much happening all throughout the community all the time, so make sure that you're checking out the community calendar at newulm.com. If you just go to newulm.com, click on events, and then there's a bar at the top that says community calendar. Or if you scroll down a little bit and there's some upcoming events, if you click view all events, it'll get you to that community calendar, and there's just so much happening.
Yeah. And the chamber, the people at the chamber are just really friendly. So if you just are up in town, bopping around, just stop in. They're just a fun group to get to know. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Sarah,
thank
for
you.
being here. It's been a great visit.
Appreciate it.
And everybody else, you just stay in your seats, or if you have to get up, stand up and then sit down, and then we'll be right back. We're back at with Something Artsy. I'm Brenda Nielsen, and my next guest today is Ryan Heron, and he is from the Brown County Historical Society. He's what I think we call a curator. I don't know if we all know what a curator is, but I bet that you will let us know, Ryan, what it is and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the collections curator for the museum. So that means I get to do both the exhibits and the artifacts over there. So with the artifacts, I'm the one who accepts them. So if someone has some old stuff or some new stuff that they want to bring in related to Brown County, then I look at that, and then we accession it into our collection, and then I get to care for it and either store it or put it on display. And then for the exhibits, it really depends on the exhibit that we're working on. Sometimes we'll work with other museum professionals, and so I will coordinate with them. Other exhibits I just do completely myself.
Okay, all right. It sounds like kind of an interesting job. I bet you get to see an awful lot of very interesting things that maybe you know what it is, and some things, what is that, huh?
Yeah, I do get a lot of both. There's a lot of history in Brown County. In fact, going back 170 years. So sometimes there are artifacts that either are in our collection that stump me or that people bring in and I say, tell me more about this.
Sure, sure. You know, a curator. What kind of education would a curator need to kind of do their job? Because it sounds like it's a big job.
Sure, yep. So it can vary. Myself, I have a master's degree in U.S. history. Other curators do museum studies courses in college or get a museum studies certificate. So the big thing that I always tell people about being a curator is to try to get experience in the field. Try and volunteer at a local museum or study it and become familiar with it.
Sure. I'm sure you just get a wide variety of what things are, where they might come from, how to preserve them. All of those things would be interesting and very important to the job, I'm sure. Well, it's really awesome, and I know that there's always displays there. My kids were little, we were always at the museum because we just kind of like to look at what was going on. And then I hear we're going to do this thing with the 170 years of city and what is it? 170 years of the city of charm and tradition.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
So that exhibit celebrates the 170th anniversary of the founding of New Ulm. The first settlers of the city came in 1854, and then the town was formally established in 1855 by the organizations that came from. So then, along with that, Brown County is turning 170 in 2025 as well. It was formed by the state, the territorial state, or territorial legislature in 1855.
Okay, wow. Huh, it's older than me. Wow, it's great. Wow. Well, I understand that there's several exhibits that are going on.
Yes.
And how did you decide what was going to be in the exhibit and what maybe had to wait? Or
So for 170 years of the City of Charm and Tradition, it was really hard because there is so much history here in New Ulm. Not just the 170 years is a long span of time, but a lot of things happened in New Ulm. Other parts of our museum talk about some of those events, like the U.S.-Dakota War, so I was able to not focus too much on that for the exhibit and could focus on other events. So because it's a rotating exhibit, it's on our second floor of the museum, it's a small space, so I really had to focus on just like the major events or major topics related to the city. So it was quite hard to decide what out of our thousands of artifacts would get to go in the exhibit. So I tried to limit it to things that related to people that their names might be recognized, or different businesses that were fairly popular in the city.
Great, okay. And then what did you do with all that other stuff that came in there, with all these treasures that were there?
Well, I basically just have to get used to the fact that we can't display everything all at once. So it's still in storage and will come out another time for another exhibit.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm glad I don't have your job, because I think I'd have a little trouble deciding, because it just sounds like there would be so many things that would just be of interest to me or to whoever, and then there's another thing that would be interesting to someone else.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Everybody's got different things that they find interesting. So that's part of why our second floor is the rotating exhibit, so we can put new things out regularly.
Great, perfect. So tell me, how long will these displays be up and running?
So 170 years of City and Charm tradition will be up through at least next summer, so through most of 2025. And then our other new exhibit is 170 years of holidays in Brown County. So that just opened. It has different holiday decorations, different religious items related to the holidays that people celebrate in Brown County. So both religious and secular.
Interesting, interesting. That sounds like that would be a really neat way to kind of look through what you've got and put together a story.
Yep. So we actually have a lot of holiday items in our collection. For over 40 years, we've done a holiday display every year. So we've accumulated quite a bit related to Christmas, especially.
Awesome.
So the exhibit right now focuses on, or it addresses Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. So what I would like to do through next year is change it out every couple of months and do other holidays that were celebrated.
Sounds like a plan. Wow, yeah. Can you imagine some of those Easter things, the Easter eggs, and some of the stuff that's out there? I'm sure. Doing some things with the theater and what comes in as donations.
Oh, sure.
You know, and we don't get the things that are so pretty like yours are, but I'm sure that there is just so much. There's such a wealth of things that you can show them.
There is, but we don't actually have everything. Actually, we don't have any items related to the Jewish people who lived in Brown County. So we had to borrow some Jewish artifacts from a family who lives here in New Ulm. And I'm going to throw this out there. If there are some other holidays that people celebrate that maybe, aren't the most dominant religion, we have lots of Christian items, please bring them in or let me know about it. I would love to display Kwanzaa, if anyone in Brown County celebrates Kwanzaa.
Great.
Or other holidays as well.
Some of our Russian holidays and some of those things, our Eastern European group of individuals in our community.
Yeah, that'd be
have
great.
some things, some great. Or of course the Scandinavians.
Yes.
There'd be some of us too, of course, I think. Well, I think Brown County Museum is probably one of the most unique buildings and the unique organizations that we have in our county. Can you tell us where we're located again, in case anybody doesn't know that distinctive building?
Yes.
The hours of operation, and are there dates that will be open special or those that might be closed during the holidays?
Yep. So the museum is located at the old New Ulm Post Office at 2 North Broadway Street. So it's right on the corner of Center and Broadway in New Ulm. So we're normally open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then Saturdays from 10 to 3. Coming up for the holidays, we are going to be closing early on December 24th at noon, and then we're closed on Christmas Day and then New Year's Day as well. Other than those 3 days, we're open our normal hours.
Awesome. Great. Well, we oftentimes have kids coming home for the holidays, or we have friends, as we're entertaining during the holidays, and this is probably one of those really those gifts that we have in our community. Come visit the museum. It's a good time, and I think it would be an excellent way to celebrate New Ulm in December. So thank you so much. Glad that you could be here today. Do you have any other stories for me?
I don't think so.
And that's okay. It's a family-friendly place. So if you get a chance, take a couple of hours and just go on up and see what the museum has for you. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being with us today. And you in the audience, you just stay put because we'll be back in just a blink of an eye. Hi, we're back with Something Artsy. This is my guest today. Now, this next guest is Leroy, and I just lost you, Leroy Harris. Leroy Harris. Yep. And he's from the library here, the public library here in New Ulm. Thanks for coming, Leroy.
It's always great to be on Something Artsy.
Good. I'm so glad you're here. Do you have any changes in what's going on at the library now that it's December? Are there some hours changes? What's
Well,
going on?
we've got we've got a whole bunch of great programs, but yeah, we do have some holiday closures. So we're going to be closing early on Christmas Eve at 1:30 in the afternoon. Actually, that's a pretty early closure for us, but that's what the library told us to do. The library board. We'll be closed Christmas Day, so Wednesday, December 25th will be closed, and then we'll also be closing a little bit early on New Year's Eve, Tuesday, December 31st. We'll close at 5 o'clock that day, and then we'll be closed January 1st, but I can mention that next month too.
Okay, good.
So,
Alrighty. So, my kids, when my children used to come, I had a daughter in Germany, and when they would come for the Christmas holidays, that was one of the places that we always went to, was the children's portion of the library. There was so much going on there. What do you got going on for the kids this year?
oh, we have a lot of things going on for the kids. So I'll start with our regular offerings. So of course there's story time. Story time happens Monday mornings at 10:30. And then we've got Pajama Party Story Time, which is Wednesday evenings. So come in your jammies, snuggle up with one of your favorite stuffed animal friends, and enjoy story time on Wednesday evenings. And then we've got our two STEM programs, so science, technology, engineering, math for kids. We've got Creative Kids, which is for kindergarten and first grade, and Wacky Wonders, which is for second through fifth grade. And those two programs you got to register for those because Miss Catherine, our children's librarian, has to make sure she has enough materials for everybody and whatnot. And so you can register for those on the library's website, newhamlibrary.org, or you can call the library as well, 507-359-8331. But Creative Kids will be happening on Thursday, December 12th at 3:30, so after school. And then the Wacky Wonders will be happening the following Thursday, December 19th at 3:30 after school. And so they don't always do the same activity either. So they might have a similar theme, but the activities are, geared towards those age groups, and they always have, do something fun and hopefully have something that they take away from it as well. We've got our two sensory play times for children with sensory input issues. So we've got an evening sensory play time, and that's going to be on Tuesday, December 17th at 6 o'clock up in the children's room. They have a story or two, do a couple quiet songs, and then lots of sensory play. We have a great collection of sensory toys with different types of tactile and oral inputs, and so you do need to register for that because you don't want a big crowd you have kids with sensory input. So there's the evening sensory playtime, and then the morning one is going to be on Friday, December 13th at 10 o'clock. For our monthly no school afternoon movie, that's going to be the day after Christmas. So Wednesday, December 26th, they're going to be watching Despicable Me 4. So that'll be silly, and that's at 2 o'clock up in the children's room. And we provide the popcorn, and you can bring a bottle of water and just enjoy a movie on a day when we don't have school. We also have our two video game clubs. So there's our teen video game club, which was kind of the pilot, and they've moved to Saturdays. So they're going to be on Saturday, December 14th at 2 o'clock, and that's for 6th through 12th graders. And then the junior video game club, which just started this month in November, they're going to have their meeting on Tuesday, December 3rd, so pretty early in the month at 3:30 after school. So that's for grades 2 through 5. We also have our anime club, which is also for teens, and so that's Tuesday, December 10th at 3:30 after school. Come watch some anime, enjoy some Japanese snacks, talk about all things Japanese animation and manga, so that's our. And then we've got our monthly Friday special story time, and so that's going to be Friday, December 20th at 10 a.m. in which it's like a regular story time, but then there's also a craft as well. So that's the regular programs for kids. But we've got 3 special programs for kids coming in December. We're very excited. First is our annual visit with St. Nicholas on St. Nicholas Eve. And so that's going to be on Thursday, December 5th, of course, at 6:30 p.m. in the children's room. St. Nicholas will be there. Krampus will be there. You'll get a treat and maybe a craft, do some stories and songs. So come join us there for St. Nicholas Eve, traditionally celebrated on December 5th. Then we also have a special story time for Monday, December 30th, because children's book author Courtney Hansen is going to be there to do story time and read her new book, My Dad Hung the Moon. And so that'll be fun. And so she's going to read a book and talk about what it's like to write children's books and answer questions from the kids. And so that should be really fun. And then we're partnering with New Ulm Park and Recreation to have a noon New Year's Eve party on December 31st. Come down to the Civic Center at 11 o'clock, and we're going to have crafts, a photo booth. There's going to be open skating, refreshments, and a countdown to noon for a special ball drop. So from 11 to 1 o'clock, come down to the Civic Center. We're partnering with Parks and Recreation. It's also generously sponsored by the Optimist Club as well. So if you want your kids to be able to celebrate New Year's Eve without keeping them up till midnight, come down to the Civic Center and enjoy those fun activities. And so, yeah, those are all the fun things that are going on for kids.
Oh, well, you have to have a calendar just for kids.
I do.
Yeah,
See, I keep a lot of notes.
I
'Cause
guess.
there's a lot.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
You know, I was at the library this summer one time when I was running through, and here was this the Library of Things that just always intrigued me. Well, they were, it was whatever. What was it that I thought? Well, there was life jackets there, you know.
Yep.
Are you going to do some more of those kinds of things?
Absolutely, yeah. So our Library of Things is always expanding and also rotating with the seasons. So you won't see the life jackets there for much longer, but as snow season approaches, you will see our snowshoes come out, as well as snow fort building equipment that's going to be there too. But then all of our other traditional offerings in the Library of Things, there's a lot of puzzle and game activities for all ages. There's indoor games. We have a couple retro video game systems. So we've got a Sega Genesis and a first generation Nintendo. We also have audiovisual equipment there. And we also have other things that you might not think about. We have a decibel meter. So if you're interested in figuring out how loud things are in your house, if you have someone who has hearing issues, we also have a UV therapy light. So for people that in the winter time need some assistance with that, there's a variety of things. You just have to come and look and see all the different cool things that we have. Things for teaching kids how to program, and things for using early literacy games for kids. Library of Things is full of all sorts of great things that an adult has to check them out. Apart from the board games and card games, anyone can check those out. But you get them for a week, and we're really excited to be able to have them for the community.
It's amazing stuff, yeah. Well, we've got an awful lot for the kids going on. I bet there's something for the adults too.
Yes. So for December, we've got all of our regular adult activities going on. So I'll start with our book clubs. So we have 3 book clubs at the library. Our Lit Wits book club, they read a variety of all kinds of things, but they meet on the first Monday of each month. So they're going to be meeting Monday, December 2nd, and they meet at 6:30 in the evening up in our Fred Johnson room upstairs. And in December, they're going to be discussing The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. It's an interesting novel about a woman who buys a house, and then she goes to bed and she wakes up the next morning and a man walks into her room and says, and she has no idea who he is, but yet it's her husband. And her phone, and there's photos and everything, and she says, what is going on? Am I having a thing? But then it turns out there's something magical about the house that the next day it's a different man, and yet it's her husband. And so it's a little confusing and funny, and so we're going to talk about that book. Our History Book Club, they meet on the 3rd Tuesday of the month at noon, and so that's going to be Tuesday, December 17th. During the winter time, they meet over at the City Center Apartments at 115 South Minnesota Street. The management there very graciously lets us use their ground floor kind of conference room for us to have our book club there in the winter time. And they're going to be discussing To Banish Forever by Kathy Coates, which is a bit of local history about a conspiracy that happened back in the 1800s to expel one of the native tribes from their land. So it's actual history, and so we'll be discussing that. And then our mystery book club meets on the last Monday of the month. So Monday, December 30th at 6:30, they're going to be discussing Marcy Rendon's Murder on the Red River. So that's another Minnesota author. And of course, somebody died, and you have to figure out who did it.
Sure.
Our poetry group, which meets once a month on the second Monday of the month. So that's going to be on December 9th at 6:30 in the evening. You can come and share some poems of any kind. We have children's poems, poems in all different formats. Just bring a couple poems to share, and we take turns sharing and talking about it, and it's a very nice, laid-back, comforting time. Then we also have our genealogy club, and they meet monthly on the third Thursday of the month. So that's going to be Thursday, December 19th at 6:30. Come and learn more about the latest resources connected to family history. And if you're stuck somewhere, or if you're just starting out and don't know what to do, come and we can help you get started and help you troubleshoot. And it's a fun group. We also host the Minnesota Valley Civil War Roundtable. They meet once a month, and so they're going to be meeting on Tuesday, December 17th at 6:30. And in November, we started watching the 1930 black and white film about the life of Abraham Lincoln. And we didn't finish it quite, and so we're going to finish it up in December. It's been really interesting so far because it's telling us a lot about 1930, not necessarily things that we know about recent scholarship about Abraham Lincoln, but about attitudes and perceptions towards Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War in that time period. And so we're going to finish the movie and we're going to discuss it. And so again, that'll be Tuesday, December 17th at 6:30. The New Ulm Film Society meets monthly here at the library, and so they're continuing their America at War series. We watched a movie about the Revolutionary War in November, and so we're going to be on to the War of 1812 in December. So that's Tuesday, December 10th at 6:30. We've got refreshments, and we're going to be watching 1958's The Buccaneer with Yul Brynner and Charlton Heston about the War of 1812. So that should be really good. And I guess the last thing is we partner with CAST, Community and Seniors Together, for senior movie matinees on Friday afternoon. Usually we have them down here at the meeting room, but we might be having some at the community center as well. So keep your eyes on the library's events calendar to check locations for those. But we've been going through the decades this year with our different movies, and so we are up to the 2020s for December. So they're all pretty new movies. So that's every Friday at 1, and we're going to be watching Oppenheimer, A Million Miles Away, Killers of the Flower Moon, and A Haunting in Venice. So those will be fun offerings there. And of course, the chess club meets every week, Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. And our needle working group still meets through the holiday season, Wednesday mornings at 9:30. So there you go.
It's a revolving door. It just goes on and on. It's great. It's great that we've got a real treasure here in our community with our public library system. Well, it sounds like you're just going to have a very busy month and a very busy 2025. It looks like it's just moving right in.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of great things coming next year as well. So.
Awesome. Well, it's great that you were here. Thank you so much for being with us. And
thanks for having me.
I bet he'll be back. So you all stay tuned, and we'll be back with Something Artsy in just a minute. Hi, we're back with Something Artsy. I have John Kellen with me here now, and he's from the Grand Center of Arts and Culture. Welcome,
Thank
John.
you. Good to be here.
December's going to be a busy month for lots of things, as you probably have heard, if you've been listening to this show. And the Grand is the same, if not more busy. John, why don't you tell us what's going on?
Sure. So coming up, we have on the 6th, we have Jeff Regelman, who's a country Americana singer. Then on the 12th, open mic. We've had some really great new artists, up and coming artists. It's kind of fun to see people and get a chance to be up on stage. Had some poets and some different things. And then on the 13th, we have a variety show. The Divers are coming back to the Grand, and they said they really love performing at the Grand. So that's a ticketed show. Members are $10 and non-members are $15, and you can get them. Tickets are on sale both online or you can stop in at the Grand to get those. And yeah.
Cool. The divers, I remember the divers back in about 1999, I think. My kids were kind of that age, and the divers would oftentimes perform at the college, and they're a great group.
Yeah, that's what someone said, that they normally perform for much larger venues, but they said they love coming to the cabaret because it's more intimate.
Sure.
And so, yeah.
Sounds like a great thing. So tickets are online or right at the Grand, so you just, and the hours of the Grand, when do they open?
So our normal hours are Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 4, and then Saturday from 11 to 4. Friday nights, music starts at 7. We open our doors at 6:30, and it goes from 7 to 9:30 Friday evenings.
Sure. And as far as membership, is it a calendar year, like it starts in January and ends in December, or is it as you join?
It's on a calendar year. In fact, we're just doing our annual mailing right now, so current members will receive letters in the mail with a new membership card. And for those who haven't been members before, either they can join online or we have cards at the Grand. And we're also going to be mailing out to some prospective people who have come to music, maybe put their name on an email list or something. And so we're trying to connect with them and let them know how important it is really to support the nonprofit. We really rely on the generosity of donors and members, and really what allows us to do the programming that we do.
Okay. But that sounds like a great holiday gift. So for those of us who are watching this early in December and you just haven't quite got your list taken care of yet, the Grand might be something that you would want to take a look at. I know I've been through the gifts shop there, and it's just amazing some of the interesting things that you can get there. So.
Yeah, it's all local artisans. Many of them produce work down in our cellar press. We have an amazing collection of 20 plus antique presses and wood type and all sorts of really cool things that people create downstairs.
Amazing, just amazing. Any other shows going on in December?
Yes, so on the 20th we have the Bachfest, or the Bachfest Boys Trio. They play in different iterations, but it's a trio. Scott Sparlin, and they're always really entertaining. That'll be a really fun show.
Yeah, they are an entertainment all in themselves. They're great.
Right,
and again, they're one of those groups that's a town favorite. So it's probably, maybe have to put up a few more chairs.
Well, we have an overflow room too, and we do have a big TV monitor so people still can see them.
Awesome.
But you really want to get there early, get a table early.
The gallery is also just a marvelous place to visit. What's going on in the gallery right now?
Yeah, we're just actually opening up our Artist in Residence show. So every year we have artists in residence come and spend 2 to 3 weeks down creating different things. And this year we had an amazing lineup of artists who created everything from letterpress pieces. One was a community project where they printed a menu for Black Frost for their Derby days. And the other ones are carvings and watercolor and some really amazing combinations of things. And so that runs through the end of December, and it will be actually opening up here this Friday evening.
Okay, great. Well, it's so nice to have an art gallery in our community, and the Grand does such a nice job. The space is beautiful, and if you have family visiting, I would recommend. It's a place to come. It's a beautiful space to look at what's being displayed. The gift shop is nice.
Yeah. Come and check it out. It's definitely a treasure, not only for New Ulm but really regionally. The collection that we have and supporting the artists. It really is. I believe that art is intrinsic to who we are, and so I'm just thrilled to be part of it.
Right. And I understand you have smart classes that'll be coming up, or you do all year round?
We do all year round, all year long. Get my words out here. Yes, and so we have a lino cut block class coming up. We also have a holiday making class, both for kids and adults. And then ongoing, we have classes both in the Cellar Press. And then throughout the year, we have different kids classes. We also have heart therapy, so twice a month on Wednesdays, middle school kids we have in as a way to kind of get them doing something really creative. Bridget Gusso is a middle school art teacher, comes and teaches that, so there's classes going on all year round.
Oh, great. Sounds like a fun thing. I know I've received some of the greeting cards from the printing press. They're just beautiful. You know, there's so many fun things that go on in our community, and the Grand is one of those little gems that we've got out there.
Yes.
So as far as purchasing, we talked a little bit about that, classes, as far as purchasing, if there's a cost for them, and I'm sure there is for some of them. How do they do that?
Sure. So the classes, we try to keep them really affordable because we want people to fill up our classes, and so they generally range from $35 for a simple class. Some of the more complicated ones maybe go up to $95. But those are more rare, longer ones. Like we had a Coptic book binding, a book making class with a leather bound. You leave with a leather bound book. That was pretty fun. I try to take as many classes as I can get my hands on, just because I love learning, and not like I'm going to really become the resident expert. We have teachers, art teachers that come and do that. But it's really fun to make things and be able to give gifts that you've made yourself. It's really fun, greeting cards and so forth. Come and make your own. So.
Great. Sounds like like a great idea. For those folks who don't know where the Grand is located, can you give us a little map of where it is?
Sure. We're right downtown, historic New Ulm, 210 North Minnesota Street, in the former Grand Hotel, we're coming up on 150 years old, that building is, and so we're going to have a big celebration coming up this spring in February.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like great. Well, it's something to check out. You just check out that Grand. There's a lot to do. They've got gifts. They've got just a lot of interesting things going on there, and maybe take a class or two. It sounds like a good thing.
Yep.
I want to thank you for being with us,
Thanks
John.
for having us. Yeah, love to see you down there. And for any information on classes and schedules and the music lineup that's coming up, just visit our website, and that's www.thegrandnewulm.org. It's THEGRAND newulm.org. Thanks much. All right, good to see you. All right.
You too.
Take care.
And we'll be back in just a drop of a hat, so stay tuned. Hi, we're back here with Something Artsy, and these are my last two guests for the day. I'm here with Sandy Reinke, and she's the secretary of the board of State Street Theater. She's a director. Board of Directors, that's what it is. I should know. I used to sit on that board, but can I remember?
Yeah. I know how that is.
I know. So this is Sandy, and I have Crystal Johnson, and Crystal and I spend a lot of time together. She's one of the cast members of the play that's going to be shown now the first weekend in December. And it's the best Christmas pageant ever. And I do encourage you to go, because it's quite the show. Well, I'm going to start with some questions for you, Sandy.
You got it.
All righty. I hear that maybe there's some opportunities for people to volunteer this organization.
Absolutely. There's always things that are happening at State Street Theater that require some volunteers, and people enjoy doing that because they not only get to help, but they get to see people from the community. They get to usually see the production that's happening, that they're there ushering or maybe in the concession stand for. So there's lots of things. And if you're not somebody that's going to go to the theater, we have other things like delivering flyers to the different places throughout the community, and we break that down so you maybe have a small area of the community. Just things that you might not even think that somebody has to handle that. So if you have any any need or any interest in doing this, we have something even cool coming up that we need Santa helpers. So we've got a selfie station right now that's going to be happening during this wonderful play, and then also during Michael Bublé. And we actually have it set up right now because we have a comedian coming the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we have a wonderful comedian. He's a Midwest comedian. His name is John DeBoer, and he how do I want to say that? He tries to make his I think because he's from the Midwest, we can relate to him. It's relatable. I think that's the word I was looking for. But he talks about like driving in the snow and ice. He talks about the fact that he's this well-known comedian and he has no Facebook page. Things like that. So things that we can laugh with. They did say it's maybe a PG-13, so think about that before you come or before you bring maybe some smaller kids. But I think it's going to be a great show. So that's November 30th at 7 o'clock. But back to the volunteers, we need volunteers for that to usher people. And then also when we have the play coming up, this is kind of a cool thing. We need like Santa wranglers, which I think is cool. I might even have to do that. So after each show, the kids are going to have an opportunity to sit on Santa's lap, have their picture taken, and we just want to keep a little bit of chaos out of that process. So come on in and volunteer for that. And if you want to volunteer or find out more about volunteering, you can call us at 507-359-9990, or you can sign up on the website, which is statestreetnewulm.org. So think about those opportunities, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard that there might be another show that's coming. It's probably jumping ahead just a little bit. My husband Jeff just is a real fan of this particular artist.
Okay.
So, and we're not going to be around, and so he's a little sad.
Uh-oh.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about that? That's just coming up. It's just a little teaser.
Yeah, is that
That's about, yeah.
Michael?
Well, there's
No?
Michael, and then there's
Buddy?
Patsy.
Oh, Patsy Cline.
Yeah, she's
yes,
got
yes,
nasty
yes,
fun.
yes. Patsy Cline is coming in January, and we're actually going to do something a little different. And I'm not sure if I even have the date for Patsy on here, but I should have it.
I
So,
think it's the 4th of January. It
Oh,
looks
okay.
like to me.
okay,
Yeah.
4th of January. So maybe I don't have the same notes that I'm supposed to have. So fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be fun. So January 4th, did you say? 4th?
Yes.
January 4th for Patsy Cline, but this is cool. This is going to be a matinee, and it's a Sunday show. So prior to that, we have Michael Bublé doing a Christmas program. I'm sorry, it's not the actual Michael Bublé. It is Phil Thompson, and Phil is somebody that you might have heard of before because he did come and do the Elton and Billy Joel. And so he's from the cities. He does a lot of covers for artists that we all love, and Michael Bublé is one of them. That's December 14th. And then, yes, after Christmas is Patsy Cline, and that's on a Sunday afternoon on January 4th. What a wonderful Christmas present that would be for somebody to get tickets for that, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think if you called that number, 359-9990, they'd be able to help you with anything, or go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website. All of our
Yeah.
shows are on the website, and you
Sure.
can get your tickets there, too.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
So, and then there's also a save the date.
That's right.
announcement going on.
Yep. I'm so glad Brenda did bring up the Patsy Cline thing because I didn't have that in my notes, but that is a new thing that we did come up with that I'm glad that she didn't forget about. But then on March 1st, we actually have a couple others in there. We even have a Buddy Holly tribute, but I do not have the date for that, but I believe it's in February. But then on March 1st, actually it might be February 1st now that I say that, but check the website. On March 1st is our gala, which is a funny, we are a 501c3, so we're a nonprofit. And the way that we make money is through ticket sales, it's through concession stands, it's through grants, it's through scholarships, it's however we can actually. And but we do a gala that is a way of us to show the people that the theater is not just for productions, but it's for a lot of fun too. So we're having a gala, which is we have dinner and we have games and we have music, and it's lots of fun, and we always have a theme. And this year it is Hooray for Hollywood. So we're asking everybody to dress up in their favorite movie character and come in and play that part that evening, whatever, just have a good time. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. March 1st, mark your calendars at the theater.
It is, and again, tickets, all of that stuff, It's all on the website.
That's right.
Or at the phone. And, you know, the box office there, they're open during the day. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the hours are.
Yeah,
but I
they're
think there's
open Monday through Friday from noon until, 9 to noon. And, but their phone number, Brenda had mentioned it, 507-359-9990. They can help you get tickets if you're not tech savvy. Don't worry about it. Call them. They'll get your tickets for you. But if you are and you want to see what tickets are available, statestreetnewulm.org.
Great. I understand too, you know, the space there is pretty large, and sometimes it's a good place to offer a holiday party or a birthday, celebrating a birthday or something. Tell us a little
Absolutely.
bit about what's going on.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you got to think outside the box a little bit, and you know, the world doesn't seem to be doing anything normal anymore. Everything seems to want to have a unique twist, and so we've got your unique twist for you. The theater can seat up to about 700 very comfortably. And we were thinking, if you're a corporation and you usually have a Christmas party and you're not sure what to do, why don't you just move the appetizers and the meal or whatever? We can have people standing behind the stage for a cocktail hour. We can have people seated if you want to have more of a meal. And then you can go and watch a show. You know, maybe you get a bunch of people to come to Michael Bublé or to one of the plays, which would be great. Buy a ton of tickets, bring everybody, and it's just a great opportunity for you to say thank you and Merry Christmas in a very unique way. Yeah.
It's fun. I know that I was in a show once where we had a group that did that. I'm not sure. It was an organization within New Ulm. I think it was because one of their co-workers was in this show. And it just added a whole new dimension for those of us on the stage, the actors. We just had a great time with it. And I think they did too, because they sure hooted and laughed a whole lot.
Yeah.
So it's another thing to, like you said, think outside the box. That would
You know,
be
my husband is a business owner here in town, and he took a bunch of his clients and his workers and stuff, and we bought a bunch of tickets for State Street, and we went across the street and rented a spot over there and had some cocktails beforehand, which now we wouldn't have to do that. We could do it right at the theater, and we had such a wonderful night because we got to meet each other in a way that gave us a chance to get to know each other first and then enjoy something that we still talk about when we see each other. So think about that. Great opportunity for you.
Alrighty. Well, I think we've covered just about everything other than the play that's going on.
Yes.
So unless you have something else.
No, you know what? I'm excited to hear more from Crystal and hear what she's got to say about the play. You guys are both experts on it.
Well, Crystal, it's your show. Tell us a little bit more about the best Christmas pageant ever.
Yes. Okay, so it's a show about what happens when the normal Christmas pageant director must find a new person to direct the show, and the naughtiest family of kids in town, the Herdmans, decide to also join in the fun. So whatever can go wrong will probably go wrong. It's a fun show. You should definitely bring everyone to come see it. It's great for kids, and you know, I sit there during practice in the scenes that I'm not in, and I just laugh. So it's for adults too. And yeah, another great thing that would be a great gift for somebody is, you know, buy them a ticket to this show and have them come out and make memories instead of giving like a fruitcake or something, you know, experience. Another thing that's kind of unique about this show is we're going to be adding some special surprise content because it is a little bit of a shorter show that goes really, really fast. There's not a lot of time for costume changes and set changes and things like that. So we've added what are called olios, little skits, songs, that kind of thing, where we'll have some people come out and entertain you guys while the actors are backstage busy doing, you know, getting ready for the next scene.
Right.
So that'll be kind of fun.
So, just a reminder, when is the show happening?
Yes, there are 3 performances. So the first one is, well, Friday and Saturday, December 6th and 7th will be at 7 p.m. And then Sunday, December 8th is a 2 p.m. matinee.
Alrighty.
And we will also have that selfie with Santa opportunity following each of those 3 performances.
I love that Wrangler idea. That is so
Yeah.
cool. What
That'll
a
be good.
neat idea.
Yep.
And so tickets for this show, They're a little bit cheaper than some of our other tickets,
Yeah.
I think, but do you
They're
remember?
only $15 in advance. Kids under 12 are just $5. And again, you can get those on the website, statestreetnewham.org, or stop by the box office Monday through Friday, 9 to noon, or call that number, 507-359-9990, and take care of your purchase over the phone.
You're a great actress. You know, you can remember those things. Boom, she's got it there.
That's what this brain was made for,
Well,
just
that's what
remembering
it is.
random
Good.
stuff.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming. It's so nice to kind of end the show with people that I have known forever, have done things with, and I'm so glad to be ending this December with something artsy, and I hope you do too. So remember that this happens every month. It's brought to you by State Street Theater in conjunction with New Cat, who films every segment for us, and they do such a great job for us. We get our support from people like you, and also from Prairie Lakes Art Council. And without them, you know, we just wouldn't be here. So I want to make sure that we thank them for all their generosity and the support of this program that showcases the arts in our community. So until next time, have a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year.